send it out to the Zoom. So by doing that, did I kill the microphone? Oh, why is this?
Okay, I can hear you. Okay, check, check, check. I can see you. Can you get me in the room? I don't know how loud the person's going to talk, but let's say, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, I have you in the room.
Okay.
It sounds like you would imagine.
Oh,
I have it at page 50. Okay, wait, I have something for you.
She has something for you.
oh, for me?
Yes.
I think to read for Jackie.
Is it a gift?
This is, what you need to say about Jackie's.
Okay. Got you. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this regularly scheduled board meeting on today's date, July 23rd, to order. We will begin with roll call. Vice President Castro.
Present.
Clerk Hunt.
Here.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Present.
And I too am present, and Trustee Wong may.
Here.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was like, Trustee Wong may participate remotely in Thursday's meeting as reasonable accommodations for disability. The board, oh, sorry, is under pursuant to Government Code Section 54953C. And please note that remote participation by a trustee under this section of the Brown Act shall be treated as in-person attendance at the physical meeting location for all purposes, including any requirement that a quorum for the legislative body participate from any particular location. So just putting that out there. And so announcements of items to be discussed in closed session. First, we will have Government Code Section 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiators, WSTA, CSEA, and Management, and Government Code Section 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiators, Unrepresented Employees, President Coffey and Marie Nakamura, and that is it for closed session. And so we are going to head to closed session, and then we shall reconvene at 6:30. Thank you. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and reconvene from closed session. So we're going to first start with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the land currently occupied by Washington Unified School District as the traditional home of the Patwin people. These sovereign people have been caretakers of the area since time immemorial, and despite centuries of genocide and occupation, the Patwin people continue as vibrant and resilient federally recognized and unrecognized tribes, bands, and rancherias. Today, we honor and recognize our Patwin tribal neighbors for their contributions as the caretakers of the Sacramento Valley and honor their sustained existence. With their blessing and continued guidance, Washington Unified School District seeks to provide an accessible, equitable, and supportive institution of learning and experience. And now for our Pledge of Allegiance. And can Ms. McAllister please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now, roll call. Vice President Castro.
Present.
Clerk Hunt.
Here.
Trustee Wong.
Here.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Present.
And I too am present. So announcement of actions taken into closed session. So Government Code, Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiators, WSTA, CSEA, and management. Information was received. Government Code, Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiators, unrepresented employees, President Coffey, and Marie Nakamura. Information was received and direction given. And now on to our approval of the agenda. Do I have any? No changes? All right, do I have a motion to move?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Kirby Gonzalez. Second by Vice President Castro. All in favor?
Aye.
And I too say aye. And
I think it needs to be roll call.
oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Roll call vote due to the fact that Trustee Wong is virtual. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Present.
And I too say aye.
Or yes, I forgot what we were about. Yes.
And I too say aye. All right. Now moving on to our association reports. And first up for CSEA, Ms. Ruth.
Good evening. Sound is okay? Okay. Good evening, Board President, trustees, superintendent, cabinet, staff, community members. As we near the end of summer, I want to express my gratitude towards those classified employees who have worked during the summer break and ensured that the district has had continuity with their summer programs and, of course, student support. I know I have said this in the past, but I want to reiterate that I do not believe that summer is long enough, especially for those who have had their summer contract shortened due to the earlier August start date. I understand there's a lot of factors and reasons for the early start date, but I just want to go on the record and say I'm open to a later date. There are a lot of consent and action items on tonight's board agenda. contracts in particular. I actually cannot make an informed statement or give an expert opinion on the effectiveness or values of the vendors, consultants, or private companies. I have not seen any outcome data for any of these, especially those who have been repeated each year. But to be clear, and just as an example, Math for All, did we use this consultant last year? Did Math Scores or whatever services he or they provide help the district and the students grow? Is it worth the service? These are the topics and questions and conversations that I hope to have during the next budget advisory meeting, committee meeting. So for now, I'm just stating that I hope the effectiveness of these consultants and services has already been determined and shared prior to any approval votes. My goal and desire to be an active member of the Budget Advisory Committee, and I've been very transparent about this, is to evaluate programs and or services that are not needed and recommend ways to improve our budget outcomes by lowering unnecessary expenditures. And to be clear, without negatively impacting our classified employees. The humans who run, operate, and support this district and students deserve our attention to support prudent fiscal responsibility. As always, I thank you for your time. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'll see you very soon for the start of the 26-27 school year.
Thank you. And now for our WSDA report.
We don't have one today. President Net was unable to attend.
Okay. Then we will go ahead and move on to our public comments. And before proceeding, I'm going to go ahead and read our public comment disclaimer. Members of the public may address the board on the topics of our board agenda during every meeting. In addition, during regular meetings, the public may also address any topic within the jurisdiction of the board. Please know the board is listening to your comments, but by law cannot meaningfully respond in this forum for items not on the agenda. The board has allotted 20 minutes per agenda item for public comments, and the members of the public will be allotted 3 minutes to speak. In the event there is a large number of speakers, the board will make adjustments to ensure more voices can be heard. Speaking time will be limited as follows: 3 minutes each for 1 to 8 speakers, 2 minutes each for 9 to 14 speakers, and 1.5 minutes each for 15 to 18 speakers. In addition, members of the public may submit public comments using the public comment forum posted on the district website no later than 3 p.m. on the board meeting day, which will be read by the board and included in the public record. The board respects the rights of members of the public to speak regarding matters within its jurisdiction. However, please recognize that comments regarding students other than the speaker's own children made during a public board meeting may be a violation of the student's right to privacy, and thus the speaker may be legally liable. If you reference a student's name other than your own student, you may be deemed out of order. Furthermore, it is important for the public to understand that negative or derogatory comments made against district employees or others, even those made in a public board meeting, may be actionable civil defamation. Board policy allows the public to lodge complaints against district employees, providing more opportunity to be heard than is allowed under the open meeting law that governs this meeting. Although the board is unable to limit criticism of the district, its programs, and people, the district will pursue legal restraining orders when employees suffer unlawful violence, a credible threat of violence, or harassment. Further, individuals may pursue claims for defamation based on untrue statements made during public comments. And how many comments do we have?
We have one.
Okay, so that will be 3 minutes. All right.
Jennifer McAllister.
Hello, Superintendent Hildreth and board members and cabinet and everybody. How you doing?
Good.
I'm excited to start the school year. I'm excited to move to River City. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow my boxes get moved out of room 6 at Bright and get moved to room 707 at River City. So excited about that. I'm just here to give you an update on what we're doing. My 4 FFA kids are raising hogs for the fair are not in front of you because I wore them out today. We did a buyer's walk to 4 different businesses. Farm Air, Johnson Mechanical, Radial Tire, and there's another one I'm forgetting, but they're doing wonderful. And I'm kind of glad they're not here because I brag about them all the time, and their heads are going to get big. So on the 13th of August, they're going to be in official dress, and they'll be here, and they're going to tell you what the fair's like, because it starts the 11th. That's way in at from 5 to 8 o'clock in the morning. We got to get those hogs to Woodland, and then the auction is on the 15th. So other exciting things. Last Wednesday, I went to Fiery Ginger Farms to weigh the hogs. I dressed in jeans, boots, and an oversized shirt that makes me look really bad. Then Hope comes up to me, oh yeah, by the way, the governor's coming and the first lady. And I'm like, oh my gosh, kids, do you want to be here? They did. They talked to the governor. I've got pictures. They talked to the first lady. On top of that, they got to talk to the Secretary of Agriculture, Karen Ross. And oh my goodness, she just loves our kids. Alice Waters, the OG of Farm to Table at chef at Chez Panisse. And she gave the kids books, all 4 of them, her book signed. I mean, like, it was like a whoa moment. And I just want to share that with you because it makes me happy to be a teacher. Makes me happy to do the things that I'm doing. And I want to say thank you because I'm starting my 30th year teaching on the 5th. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, and now we will go ahead on to our public hearing.
They're specific to action item N1.
Oh, okay. So then when N1 comes, we'll make sure to call that comment. Okay. So we're moving on to public hearing for the 2026 developer fee jurisdiction study and propose of statutory level 1 developer fees.
Thank you. Don't know if I can move this up a little bit. Oh, I did it. Okay, this evening, I'm joined by our consultant from SchoolWorks to present a public hearing for the developer fees. This might sound familiar because we did conduct a public hearing before, but to be transparent, we did not post it correctly. And so we're redoing that, but also based upon some of the questions that you had, we asked our consultant who did the assessment to come and present it to you and hopefully answer some more questions for you.
Okay.
All right, well, good evening. It's wonderful to be here with you. Again, we do these studies every few years. We do have a quick presentation to go over the basics, and then I've also done some homework to help answer some additional questions that I've heard about. So if we go to the next slide, this just shows the history of developer fee rates. We can see they've grown quite a bit over the last 20 years or so. The new rates that are in play this year are $5.38 per square foot for residential, and we have 87 cents per square foot for commercial or industrial projects. On our next slide, we talk about the reason we do a level 1 study. And again, we typically update those about every 2 years when the state announces the new rates that are adjusted for inflation. So that's the reason the rates keep going up, is because school facility project costs keep going up. So they're trying to keep pace with that. And so in the new studies, we also take it into account any new rules or new laws that are in place based on information from various lawsuits that have maybe taken place. So all the newest information, we bring the studies up to date. And so some of the impact of that type of stuff is, for example, our student yield rate. In the past, we would just use the state average of 0.7 students per housing unit. Nowadays, we're looking at what your actual local rate is. And we base that on census information, because in the census data, we get a full housing count for the entire district. We compare to that how many kids you had in your district, and the simple math gives us that yield rate. And then, of course, we want to monitor development activity and make sure we're doing our study based on what we believe is going to be built over the next 5 years. We want to look at what your capacities are, because those can change over time. And one of the newer items that they want in studies is making sure we identify what your planned use of those funds are. So again, a lot of simple things that we make sure and cover in our reports. Just because we identify what we believe we're going to use those funds for, your hands aren't tied, right? You can use them for whatever projects actually come up. But they do like us to identify what is the most likely things that we're planning to spend those dollars on. And so the next page talks about the major items that impact the fee level. Of course, we can't exceed that $5.38, but at the end of our study, we always talk about the amount that we justify. And for your study, it was $11.72. Those numbers vary from district to district all over our state. And the reason they vary is because of the key statistics that are the most important in that analysis, which include what is the average size housing unit being built. In your community, it was 1,243 square feet. Again, that takes into account all of the smaller multifamily units in addition to the single family. And they're prorated based on how many of each type there are. We look at what local land costs are. In communities, on the coast, land costs are quite high, and so their justification levels will be higher. And then, of course, our student yield rate was 0.39 for your community, based on that 2020 census information. And we are projecting just over 1,200 new housing units to be built in the next 5 years. Now, again, that's hopefully a little conservative, but as you know, the housing market has been a little soft lately. Housing costs are high, interest rates are higher than they've been, and so we've been in a little bit of a slow market at the time. And so, based on our study, you are fully justified to collect the new maximum rate of $5.38 per square foot. Our next slide talks about the use of developer fees. And we like to just review that with you because sometimes there's misunderstandings about how fees can be used. The most common, obviously, is new schools, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Obviously, if we need to add to existing schools, if we're putting in some portables, if we're needing to replace some old wings because they're just getting to be unusable, if we're doing modernization projects, so our schools will last another 30 years, that's an allowance, that's an allowed expense. Obviously, land for new schools and land to expand existing schools. If an existing site is just too small and you're needing to add another wing to it, you can add additional land. And then, of course, all the planning costs that go into these projects. So the architect's fees and all the other consultants. And so the next page talks about our timeline. With approval of the resolution and study this evening, there's a 60-day period before the new rates go into effect, and so that would be September 21st. That gives all the community awareness of the timeline, so they have time to finalize any projects if they're in the middle of something before the rates go up. Our next expected increase will be in 2028 when the State Allocation Board reviews the inflation cost for school construction. And then again, based on the assumptions in our study on the average size homes and how many are projected to be built, we're estimating about $1.7 million per year is the anticipated revenues to be generated. Again, those numbers can vary significantly depending on what happens with the economy and the housing market. But that's our best estimate at this point in time. And this final page just is a quick overview of what your approval means. And so we talk about the new rate of $5.38. That's 21 cents more than you're currently collecting. The new rate of 87 cents for commercial industrial projects is a 3-cent increase per square foot. And then rental self-storage actually goes down 1 cent. From currently it's 13 cents, it goes down to 12 cents per square foot. So just a minor adjustment there. And so one of the questions I was asked about, because we also do your demographic study where we do your enrollment projections. And in that study, in addition to these 1,200 new housing units to be built over the next 5 years, there's actually 8,000 more. So there's about 9,200 new housing units being planned for your community in your school district. That is a significant increase in housing units, as you're aware. And so the question comes up, at what point do we need to start building a new school? And if you look at our demographic study, it shows your enrollment's pretty stable, right? So even though there's all this development, most of it is not included in our 5-year projections. Most of it is anticipated beyond that because we're currently in that slow housing market, and we believe it will take a little bit of time for the conditions to change. Doing some simple math with the data, I believe you will need an additional elementary school in the southern portion of your district with a capacity of about 1,000 students. So again, that's for grades K through 8. And we could even need an additional 12 to 15 classrooms at the high school as these projects build out. But again, it's not in the next 5 years, I don't think. Again, that's why we monitor this information on a regular basis, because one, as some of these master plan developments, right, the specific plan areas, once they start building, we'll know truly what their average size home is, if they're targeting families or they're just targeting maybe people that are just the young professionals that are just working and living in the community. So, or some of the communities target the elderly in our retirement communities. All those details aren't worked out yet in these specific plans. So again, we have to continue to monitor that to come up with a better answer for you. But I think the best advice I would have for you at this point is trying to work with the developers of these specific plan and master plan areas to have a site set aside so that eventually when it is needed, it will be reserved for you to purchase. And then again, just a little bit more background on the demographics piece. There's 2 key components impacting your enrollment, right? Development provides more and more students, but our declining birth rates and the smaller size families in our communities are driving the numbers down. And right now, those 2 forces are pretty balanced, and that's why your overall enrollment has been pretty stable. Obviously, there's going to be some fluctuations, but relatively stable. Once the development increases, it's going to overwhelm the declining birth data, and that's what will create that growth eventually. But again, we have to continue to watch both of those forces in play and to come up with a better understanding of exactly when a new school will be needed. But until then, it looks like your school's in pretty good shape in terms of the capacity they have in comparison to how many students are currently enrolled. With that, I'd love to be able to answer any other questions that may have come up.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comments?
None received.
Okay, do I have any comments from my fellow trustees?
I have a question, and it might be more for our staff, I don't know. And so I appreciate all the background. I appreciate you going over all of those questions. How long would it take in terms of, I know we have sites already identified within our master plan for school sites, but how long would it take once we decide that we see a need for a school to then build that school? So obviously there's a planning component and a few other components. So just so we have an idea as we talk about this and with the community, what would that maybe look like?
I think the overall state average is about 5 years, right? That allows you time to plan it and design it, get it approved through the state agencies, and then go out to bid and start construction and allow a good 2 years for just the construction period. Now, obviously, projects happen faster than that. Typically, if you're using pre-approved plans for portable type things, things can happen quicker. But for a comprehensive design, especially for a K-8 campus, I think a 5 year is sort of the industry average.
Okay, thank you. And am I correct on that statement that, and maybe this is directed to our own people, that we already have school sites, because it was mentioned that we could find a site and then purchase it. I believe we already have land purchased, and just so the board and public would know, is that one piece that would not be necessary.
In some areas where there's development, we have some land, but what's important to think about is the size of that parcel. The land that we do have isn't big enough yet for a school. And so to make it big enough, we may need to buy some of the land surrounding the school. We are working with a developer in the area to identify a designated space that they would reserve for future purchase of land if we need it.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we could have just a board update at some point about where those spaces are and what they look like, because I know we've had conversations in the past and with prior boards too. Thank you. Yeah.
Just to mention on that, so we have one piece of property, our Bees Lake property. The other areas are still under discussion, so those haven't been decided yet within the development yet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all for me.
Thank you.
I have a quick question, and sorry if it might be premature, but so I know there's a local resident in my area who is working with the city to create an ordinance for tiny homes on wheels. So how would would they fall under residential or commercial right now?
Tiny homes are considered residential, and so again, anything that has the potential of generating children would be considered residential. The only thing that's not residential is when it's short-term, like a hotel. And the only other exception to the residential rate is a senior citizen development, again, that doesn't generate students. They would also pay the commercial rate.
So because there's potential for the growth of the family, that's what you're not, because tiny homes are significantly less in square footage than an SFR home, right?
Right. Yeah, so they pay a much less amount because the fee is a per square foot fee.
So it is per square foot.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get this information because I know this came up and I'm like, oh gosh, this is a good chance to address it. So per square footage, that's how you're going to determine their impact fee.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you.
That gives me one more, sorry.
Go for it,
Unless
yeah.
Trustee Hunt has some,
ahead.
or Clerk Hunt. Does the board have, is it our prerogative if senior housing is commercial or residential, or is that within like the state parameters?
Yeah, that's part of the state law.
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to clarify on the use of the developer fees. You had a great list there, and wanted to clarify that it can't be used for maintenance. It's meant for new facility projects or upgrades to current schools and things like that? Or is the allowance also include normal maintenance for our facilities?
No, normal maintenance is not allowed, so we can't use it to fund your maintenance department.
Sure, okay, great, thank you.
Jackie, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. And I believe everybody answered my questions.
I did have one more
Yes.
data point that I pulled up I forgot to mention earlier. One of the statistics we look at when we're looking at all the census information is we're able to see how many children live in your community in comparison to how many are enrolled in your schools. And that number came out to 82.5%. And that is slightly above the county average and state average for public school enrollments. So the community is very engaged with your schools, and so I thought that was a very positive statistic to point out. And of course, the other 17.5% are those that are enrolled in either private school, charter schools, home schools, right, all the other education options that we have these days.
Thank you. That's a very nice number indeed. All right. And I believe that ends our public hearing. Dun, dun. And we will go ahead and move on to our consent agenda. Do I have any public comments?
None received?
Okay. Any comments from the board? All right, do I have a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by Clerk Hunt, second by Trustee Wong. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro?
Aye.
Clerk Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Wong?
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez?
Aye.
And I too say aye. And I'm trying to find, yeah, I just realized that. Sorry. And we're moving on to our action items. First up is action item approval of the contract with Managed Facility Solutions for relocation services for the Elkhorn Village Modernization Project. Monique Stovall. Or Daniel.
Good evening, Superintendent and Trustees. Tonight, we bring to you the agreement with Managed Facility Solutions for the relocation services for our Elkhorn Village Modernization Project. So the Facilities Department solicited a proposal from Managed Facility Solutions, who has successfully completed numerous move-in and move-out services for the district. And this includes the Westfield Village modernization, both phases of the Bright Carpet projects, and also various program moves from different sites. Managed Facility Solutions also provides the district with careful handling of materials, furniture, as well as timely completion on projects. Administration recommends approval of the agreement with Managed Facility Solutions for the Elkhorn Village modernization for $78,172.70 paid out of the Measure Z fund.
Okay, thank you. Are there any public comments?
Yes, we have two.
Okay. We'll go ahead and call the first one, please.
Maria Grijalva.
Thank you. Mine was actually a general comment.
Oh.
Yes, and so, but I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Maria Grijalva from the Latino Information and Resource Center. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the nonprofit organization that brought district elections to West Sacramento and to the school board. And I'd like to enter into the public record the latest on Riverbank Elementary School. I wish to report out to the community the findings of the investigations by Ellis Investigation. Needless to say, we feel discriminated. The investigation found that our complaints were not valid, and we have filed an appeal, and we're waiting for the district to respond to that. For those of you that don't know, back in September when our campuses were closed, the police got called on a parent, on a PTA parent, within 3 minutes of her touching the campus while she was dropping off her fourth grader. She was on her way to River City to drop off her high school student, but there was no warning, and it was just a complete shock that this would happen to a parent because the whole campus was closed down, and she's not a stranger. And then the other thing that happened is to a Spanish-only speaker, she was denied reasonable accommodation, and she was denied her own translator, which was me. And so what happened is that the principal ended up coming out and rushing us, literally, physically, and it was pretty startling, and we had to file a police report. And so we really felt that that was not okay. So the findings have not been made public, and we're hoping that they are made public. And so because of that, I brought a couple of, sometimes people don't mean to do bad things. They simply don't know any better and have never been educated, and it's just lack of information. And so for that reason, I brought a couple of books and that are on permanent loan, because I know that you guys aren't allowed to receive gifts. So these are like on permanent loans, and I left them up on the desk. And so these books talk about racism. And there's a resolution that was passed by the Yolo County Board of Supervisors, a resolution 2076. This resolution recognizes racism as a public health crisis because it impacts everyone. And so lastly, I do need to report that in May, there was a substitute principal at Riverbank that said that any parents that were uncooperative needed to have immigration called on them. And so I needed everybody to know that. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak.
And our second comment?
Sylvia Jimenez.
Yes, hi. My name is Sylvia Jimenez, and I'm here to address the Yolo County Board of Supervisors. Resolution number 2076. Resolution recognizing racism as public health crisis. Historically, racism has been manifested as discrimination and oppression toward numerous population, resulting in suppression, trauma, and long-term detriments. And the United States Office of Disease Prevention recognizes that discrimination negatively impacts health outcomes. And in Yolo County, we have local data that demonstrates the tremendous impact that social and institutional inequities like racism have the life expectancy across different communities of the county. And these projects start early, are rooted in social and economic inequities, and manifest themselves in poor health outcome throughout life, and from unmet child care needs to disparate third-grade reading levels. The Yolo County recognizes the social, economic, and race-based disparities, and individuals live in certain affluent areas of the Yolo County can expect to live approximately 14 years longer than their counterparts living in less affluent areas, and racism has given rise to further geographic segregations and disproportionately expect Black and Latin people to poor air quality, inadequate nutrition, and lack of recreational and healthcare facilities. And Black and Latin residents of Yolo County are disproportionately impacted by the criminal justice system. And when the building blocks for a healthy, long, and prosperous life of disproportionately allocated, the community as a whole suffers, and educating the community on racial health inequities, processing the trauma of the past, creating a new narrative-based a vision of health equity, equal justice, and impartially can help to heal and change a community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Yolo County affirms.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's your time, but thank you.
God bless you all. And you know, we all created under God's. We are all equal, so thank you.
Thank you.
I left this in case somebody wants it.
Okay. Do I have any comments from my fellow trustees on the action item? Nope. Nope. Okay. I'm assuming Jackie doesn't have it. Okay. Do I have a motion? Moved by Vice President Castro.
I'll second.
Second by Trustee Kirby Gonzalez. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye. Thank you. And now the approval of resolution number 262732, approving the and adopting developer fee justification study and authorizing increase in statutory level 1 developer fees. Monique Stovall.
Thank you. This is part 2 to our public hearing. So at this time, we're asking your approval of the new rates. Those rates would become effective September 21 of 2026, as shared, to give people time to know the new rates and plan their projects accordingly.
Thank you. Are there any public comments?
None received.
Okay. Any comments from my fellow trustees? Nope. All right. Do I have a motion to move?
I'll move.
Moved by Clerk Hunt, seconded by Trustee Wong. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving on to the approval of renewal of staffing agreement with Emergis Healthcare Staffing, Inc. for the 2026-2027 school year. Autry Streak.
Good evening, trustees and staff and community. This evening, I'm before you with a request to approve the renewal of Emergis Healthcare Staffing agreement for the upcoming school year, 26-27 school year. And this will provide LVN services district-wide, as well as one specialized paraeducator with fluency in ASL
All right.
to support student needs.
Okay. Are there any public comments?
None received.
Any comments from my fellow trustees? All right. Do I have a motion to move? Moved by Vice President Castro.
I'll second.
Second by Clerk Hunt. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving on to the approval of the amendment to the contract with school status for the 2026-2027 school year. Autry Streak.
Thank you. This request is to amend our current contract with school status for the 26-27 school year to add an additional service, which in essence is them sending communication regarding student absenteeism to families, and it is a cost of $4,060.68, bringing the current contract value to $120,460.68, paid for out of our student services budget.
Okay, thank you. Are there any public comments?
None received.
Any comments from my fellow trustees? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to move?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
I'll second.
Second by Trustee Wong. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye.
Thank you.
And now moving on to the approval of the renewal of the agreement between Washington Unified School District and the Northern California Training, Inc., NCCT, Autry Streak.
Good evening again. This particular item is to renew our current agreement with NCCT for this coming school year to continue providing staff and materials for our construction pathway.
Okay, are there any public comments?
None received.
Are there any comments from my fellow trustees? Okay, do I have a motion to move? Moved by Vice President Castro.
I'll second.
Second by Clerk Hunt. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye.
Thank you.
And now for the approval of the renewal of the vendor agreement with YOLO Food Bank for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Yes.
Autry Streak. Welcome back.
Thank you. This item is being brought back from the previous board meeting where additional information was requested, which was submitted. And so we are asking for the approval to renew the agreement between WUSD and the YOLO Food Bank for our 3 community schools.
Thank you. Are there any public comments?
None received.
Do I have any comments from my fellow trustees? I did want to say, because I don't believe that the information is shared out to the public, that there were a lot of questions that I had asked about data. Is it really something that that is getting utilized and is being seen by the districts or the community schools? And it was clearly shared that if this is a need that is being asked of the community that go to those specific sites, the items that are, because one of the things was, are we getting the right cost of what we're doing? And it seems as though from what they're saying, and I mean, I'm not talking to the families, the community schools are talking to them. It is something that they still see as a value. So, and for that reason, thank you so very much. I am going to go ahead and move with this. So
thank you. I have one comment, and then I will second. And I thought, President Coffey, you had a good recommendation of when food comes home, having sometimes a menu that comes with that. And I know that there's a lot of, accessible ways to find things like that. And so I think that was a great recommendation if it could be passed on to the food bank, of sometimes adding in some type of, recipe for some of the foods that might be in that box that day. And I will second.
Yes,
we've done that. It doesn't have to be for the whole,
yes.
It doesn't have to be like,
absolutely.
hey, this is
You're
what
right.
you could do with everything, but maybe you don't know what to do with a sweet potato.
For the unique things, yes. Yes.
Or what are beets? Like, I don't know what to do with them. Sorry.
That's a good recommendation.
I'm just messing. Okay, so on that, I moved, and Trustee Kirby Gonzalez second. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are on to our board governance. Approval of trustee compensation for missed board meetings in accordance with Board Bylaw 9250. I don't believe we had any absences last month. So I'm going to go ahead and say, no, it is not needed. Okay, but we're going to keep this on the standing just so that way we don't miss it. So thank you. And now moving on to approval of Washington Unified School District annual resolutions for the 2026-2027 school year. Yorgos.
Good evening, trustees. This item is pretty straightforward. It's our annual resolutions item. For those that aren't familiar, each year at the beginning of the school year, we bring the complete package of all board resolutions forward for approval. It's really a more streamlined and efficient way for us to get these all approved at the start of the year and then be able to communicate them out more effectively with the community, staff, and everyone involved in making sure they're on everyone's radar throughout the school year as well. There are 2 additions to this year's package of resolutions. One is an adjustment in March for United Farm Workers Day on March 31st, and then Denim Day was also added for April 28th at the request of the board. And if there are other adjustments or additions throughout the school year, please let us know, and we're happy to make those throughout the school year as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any public comments?
None received.
Okay. Do I have any comments from my fellow trustees?
I want to share a comment.
Yes.
It was really meaningful to see the adjustment for March to United Farm Workers Day. Like many in this community, I'm a first-generation Mexican-American. My dad and grandpa were farm workers their entire life, and this one hit different, and it's really special. And I just wanted to share because even though some of these may not touch us personally, the ones that do are really meaningful. So appreciate you guys making that adjustment and the support from our leadership and board.
Yes. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and we'll have a motion to move. Moved by Vice President Castro.
I'll second.
Second by Clerk Hunt. Roll call vote. Vice President Castro.
Aye.
Clerk Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Wong.
Aye.
Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Aye.
And I too say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I can't believe it. It's not even 8 o'clock. Oh, my goodness. All right, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our board and superintendent comments. Dr. Hildreth, take it away.
Thank you, President Coffey, and good evening, trustees, staff, families, and community members. I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone back who feels like a brief summer, but just glad to see everyone really focused on getting schools ready to welcome our staff back and to welcome our students. And so even in the summer months when the majority of our staff has been off, our classified staff, our district teams have been hard at work preparing another exciting school year ahead. So I do want to just take a moment to thank our CSEA staff members, especially because this is one of the busiest times for classified staff. So this is the time when our HR teams are making sure we have a minimal amount of vacancies, if any. This is the time when our food services staff is making sure we have all the stock of everything that we need to serve our students. This is the time when we've had our fiscal team doing double duty because we have a new software system that includes payroll, and wanting to make sure that the July check, which is now under a new system, works for everyone. We've seen our M&O teams not only making sure all of our sites are clean, our grounds are clean, and that was even after having summer school programs in session. Our facilities team has been working to ensure that all of the projects, and there's going to be some wonderful things happening with our Cool Schools projects. We know we have our ribbon cutting for Elkhorn, but it is those pieces that touch the classroom, they just touch them in a different way. And so really want to acknowledge and highlight and say thanks, and want everyone to know that what they do, and they're just like, oh, I'm just doing my job. True, but it does not go unnoticed, and just really wanted to highlight and appreciate that, and including all of our district staff who have been here. It really is a mighty machine that gets a lot of work done from, I think it was June 4th, which was the last day of school, and August 3rd when people come back, and in these 2 months a lot has happened. So I want to say thank you. I want to thank all of our staff and families who participated in our summer programs. These opportunities are keeping learning and enrichment and connection alive throughout the summer. And I encourage our community to visit our summer programs page, know what we offer, and then always, as you know, we seek any kind of feedback because we're always striving to maintain the highest quality opportunities for our community. I just want to thank our school leaders. They are all back, and today was the first day of their what I call like a summer institute. We call it Admin Advance, where we really have time for deep dialogue. We set the tone, we look at our data, we really make plans and mapping out what we need to do for our students. So that work for our school leaders has begun. Next week, I think it's Thursday and Friday of next week, we're going to host our 2-day new educator orientation, where we will welcome our newest educators to the WUSD family and begin preparing them for a successful year ahead. And then on August 3rd and 4th, that is officially, we are in 2026-27 full force. That's our district kickoff assemblies, where we're in the River City High School gymnasium. I get the opportunity to share highlights from 25-26, talk about what our focus is for 26-27, and it's always good for people to be able to just see each other. You are able to see your colleagues who may not work at your site, and so it is always a great time to welcome people back and have our new employees certificated and classified, and we have new management staff just to see WUSD in its full glory. But we want to make sure everyone knows August 5th is really the most important date because that is the first day of school for our students and families, except for students who are attending Washington Middle College High School. They're on a different calendar, so the first day for our middle college students is August 14th, but everybody else, August 5th. So as we are moving through this final stretch of summer recess, everyone have a great, restful, peaceful, joyful close to your summer season, and we are excitedly awaiting the return of students and staff and looking forward to seeing our campuses come alive once again very soon. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Trustee Wong.
Thanks. I don't have a lot to say except ditto to what Dr. H had said. Well said. I appreciate everyone's hard work in their last 2 months to get us up and running. I am also very much looking forward to the Elkhorn ribbon cutting, which I know many of us have been waiting for a bit. And just really appreciate everybody's hard work to get that done early because I know the families are excited. I know we have excited to go on the new campus at the beginning of the year. As many of you saw in the public comments, and I actually also shared this with Dr. Hildreth as well as President Coffey, that I had a conversation with two high school students from a nonprofit organization they started called ConServe. They're kind of going around the district, going around the state, asking districts to adopt a climate action resolution, and I had suggested that that they work with our policy subcommittee, to kind of work on what that could look like, and perhaps some of our students, and some of them I know, some of our students have engaged with the mayor's efforts around climate change, and so I thought it was a good opportunity for our students who may want to be engaged to actually work on something as meaningful as a climate action resolution. I think we have passed one in the past. I don't recall when that was, but I think there are a lot of good resources that these two young people have pulled together, and they're willing to work with us and the young people in our community to adopt a resolution that is tailored to them. So when it's time, I'll probably just ask for the resolution to come back as a future board action item. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Kirby Gonzalez.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hildreth, for acknowledging all of the work that has been happening this summer by the employees who are getting school ready for it to start in August with all of our kids, hiring, cleaning, programming, all of the things, in addition to all of those who ran our summer programming for kids during the summer as well. And if we could all harness the energy of Miss McAllister to start this school year, we will be just fine. And so I just want to acknowledge, too, that while it does feel like it's still July, this seems early to harness that excited school energy in a typical school year. It really is the time to now be thinking about our kids and our classrooms and what that is going to look like for them as we come back. And so as everyone is doing that planning, I hope they have that same excitement, and our kids too. I want to acknowledge and thank our staff for the quick response we had heard from some concerns about Elkhorn and a fence for safety outside of an area for the little ones and near the road. And so I appreciated that right away. I know staff is looking into that and looking at the safety of the full campus as well as solutions to that. So I want to acknowledge and thank that. And also the comments that we heard this evening about contracts and looking at the effectiveness and outcome data. I know many of the contracts we approved tonight are for 1 year, and they have been things that we have used before. And so as we continue to evaluate that, I know the Budget Advisory Committee will as well, and our staff is doing that internally, but that we also make some of that transparent and public for others to see as well. And then along with what Trustee Wong brought up about a climate action resolution for the policy subcommittee to look at, I'd also like to recommend that the policy subcommittee look at AI policy. We know that AI is here. People are using AI within our district, our students, and so it's important that we have AI policy that is up to date and can help inform the actions that are happening in Washington Unified. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Clerk Hunt.
Thank you. Well, I was going to acknowledge all the staff and everything we've done all summer. I mean, we got an update this week that the amount of hiring, and it's just wild, and all the facility stuff that's been going on. I drive by Bridgeway every day, and we've kind of been, noting the asphalt update and stuff. So, it doesn't go unnoticed from us and our community members. Everyone's really excited to see all kinds of things happening at all the schools, and also gearing up for the school year. There's a lot of different trainings and events happening. The community giveaway is also this weekend, I believe. So make sure you check that out. It's at the high school all morning on Saturday. It's really a great event. I too, wanted to acknowledge the contracts that were approved, and as Trustee Kirby Gonzalez mentioned, there's a lot of effort from a number of parties to really look at that. But and in hearing it in public comment, one reminder also is, we can ask our questions and staff will answer, but feedback from the individuals and staff that are utilizing these services on campuses every single day would be extremely valuable. It's hard to know from our perspective that maybe that service really isn't what we expected it to be if individuals who are receiving that service aren't sharing it with us. So just encouraging, and receiving that feedback early enough to be able to, think about what else can we do instead of this same service year after year. So just wanted to say that to encourage people to provide that type of feedback to us. With the Budget Advisory Committee, these types of things are extremely important right now as we go into this fiscal year and really understand what we can or maybe cannot do moving forward. If we could receive an update on the efforts from the past year moving into the new school year at River City High School regarding student vaping on campus, around campus. I understand it's an ongoing challenge and will continue to be a challenge, but there was a lot of discussion about what efforts were going to be put into place about a year ago, and I would appreciate some sort of update and just kind of how that's going, what the plan is for the year ahead as the students are going back. And the only other thing is I guess we got to go visit some hogs again in the next couple weeks. Yeah, you want to go? Yeah. Thanks to Ms. McAllister and the FFA program. That's near and dear to my heart as well, growing up on a farm. So we'll have to go visit the hogs and the students, and it's really fun living in this community because you still get that tie also. So thank you all, and have a good first week.
All right, Vice President Castro.
Thank you. I'm not going to go into what everybody else said because it's just going to be the same stuff. I don't want to bore you, but I'm super excited for the next school year. The kids are eating up everything in the refrigerator, so my grocery bill is actually pretty high right now. So I'm excited that they're going back. Super excited about Elkhorn. It got a Hollywood facelift, I want to say, being right there in that area and seeing it going through the different stages has been pretty cool to see that. So I'm super excited about that. And then just to add to staff really jumping on the concerns that community members have. I've also spoke with other community members, actually some from different areas because it is dual immersion. So I have heard different perspectives, different concerns. So I appreciate them, staff, getting back to our community as fast as possible. Yes, I want to go see the hogs at the fair. So I'm excited to do that, actually. I really love that. I don't think I have anything else. I think that's it.
All right. I'll even keep it shorter. The staff, everybody all around Washington Unified School District is amazing. Going to the campus at River City and seeing the staff work the fields, because I'm out there because I have a little who is still in the junior program for football, and seeing the coaches out there running with their players. And yeah, it's been a good summer. So thank you all for doing what you guys do and continue to do what you do. I know they say it's my job, but you do it with so much pride that sometimes it makes me wonder, like, but is it just your job? Because you seem like you really like it. So yeah, so thank you, keep it going. And excited to go have these kids go back, because I don't think I've had a full fridge for, like, it's in there, the food's in there, and then within the day it's like it's halfway, it's already gone. Like, how did this happen? So thankful for them to go back and eat the cafeteria food. So anyway, looking forward to it. And now it's gonna be a good next couple of weeks. I could feel it. It's gonna be good. This year, I just have a really good feeling about this year. So really excited. Can't wait for Elkhorn ribbon cutting, community giveaway, just everything. So with that note, moving on to future board agenda items. I have that we would like to have the climate resolution talked about at the next policy subcommittee. And then also AI policy for the district also to be at the next, or maybe not the next, but at one of our policy subcommittee meetings, we would talk about it then. Do I have anything else that we would?
No, but President Coffey, I think I sent both of you and Trustee Kirby Gonzalez some materials on AI, because I think LAUSD was one of the first districts to pass it, so hopefully that will be helpful.
Thank you. Are there any other future board agenda items that we may need? I'm gonna take the silence as no. Okay. And then also have the board governance handbook committee meeting. All right. Well, on that note, there's nothing else. You guys, let's get out of here. Sorry, it's 2 minutes after 8. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, all.
Mike's off.